Hi, my name's Harry from Dash Cowork. Today I'm with Ryan Bennett from a couple of different places. Why don't you introduce yourself, Roo?
Yeah, my name's Ryan Bennett. I own Zimple, which we're in now, up at Dash at Charlestown, and also I own SwimPro, which is an engineering company. We sell video and software products to swimming clients worldwide. So yeah, I'm also a father of two, a fantastic husband. My wife's just out the door, so I'm saying that
I
loud
can
enough.
vouch for that.
A good friend, and a
vouch.
damn good soccer player.
And a damn good VR athlete.
Yes, true. I'm currently world champ, number one seed and world champion of Space Pirate Trainer VR game.
Ryan, one thing that we like to do with our Local Legends series is we like to kind of get a snapshot of where you are now, but also where you came from, where you want to go. So why don't we talk a little bit about where you see Zimple and SwimPro now, talk about how you got there, and then we'll talk a little bit more about future plans after that.
Yeah, so I graduated from uni, and which was wonderful. So I'm an engineer by trade, and I went and got a job in quite a large, I'm going to be careful what I say here because they're great companies, but a large public works. It was in electricity production, put it that way, and it was boring. It was so boring, and I just couldn't stand the heavy bureaucracy on my shoulders. And I'm a really good project planner, and I had all these projects going, and they just weren't getting anywhere. And I was bashing on my manager's head all the time, saying what's going on. I want to do things. Anyway, he said to me the day that he said to me, "Look, Brian, you're on top of everything. I can't do anything for you. Go for a walk around and check out all of the infrastructure." And I did that, and I got all the handbooks and things for all the different pieces of equipment, and they were all 1970s handbooks. And I'm like, that was it for me. I said to myself, game over. I need to do something, with my creativity and with my engineering skills and the likes. So I went out and developed a inspection camera, like a heavy industry inspection camera, for the place I was working, and sold it back in there. Essentially, I got leave without pay 10 weeks, and then I sold that back in there, and had no idea about business, but I thought that was wonderful, and quit the job and just travelled around Australia trying to sell this thing into Customs Australia, New South Wales Fire Brigade, and so forth. And that was okay. It was enough money for us to survive, although my wife and I did get down to $400 in our bank account. And my friend at the time was working at Subway, and I remember saying down in Swansea, I have $400 in my bank account. I'm a little concerned, but it only motivated me more. Classic entrepreneur stuff. And then so we kept going. We persisted, made a few sales, and a swimming coach came along and said, "Ryan, that is a very nice piece of equipment. I can use that in swimming coaching." So I said, okay, and I thought about it. Yeah, well, hang on. All of what happens in swimming happens underwater, right? And the coach is above water. There's a discrepancy there. Okay, take the product. Let's go. Anyway, it started to sell a little bit. We started to get some traction, and ended up going up the chain and meeting the New South Wales Institute of Sport head coach. And on the back of that, I developed a website. Just quickly, and I still have the original website on Time Machine. And I'm not a graphic designer. My brother's a graphic designer, so I got him to clean it up. And that's how SwimPro started. And now SwimPro is, like I said, worldwide. We just sold the Japanese Swimming Federation for the 2020 Olympics. We've got the USA Olympic team. We're in current contractual endorsements by Swimming Australia, Swimming Canada, and so on and so forth. We're all over the world, and we are the number one product, regarded as the number one product, performance swimming product in the world. So if you're a good swimmer, you will no doubt be touched by SwimPro at starting at probably regional and definitely in state level. So that's SwimPro. Our Zimpleweb, SwimPro was going really good. I was a traveling salesman. It's my website and my SEO at that time, let's call it digital marketing, the early stages of digital marketing, were starting to outsell me as a traveling salesman. So I said to my brother, who again would help me with the graphical side of things, I'm really good at this. We're really good at this, making things look good, presenting them online in a credible way, and getting to the top of Google, and doing the Google thing. So we thought, well, we should offer that service, back to the local community, and that's how Zimpleweb started. So I sat at the cafe, as you do, many coffees later, sat with actually Nathan Hookway and Blake Bennett, the current general manager, and we just coined Zimple. And Zimple is just like SwimPro, it's grown organically. We've just got bigger and better clients to where it is today with 15 staff.
One really interesting thing that I find about Zimple Digital is, as a digital marketing agency, you guys actually don't market yourself too heavily. You grow by doing a really good job by building relationships out in the local market, and then doubling down in that way. Was that a conscious thing for you guys?
Absolutely. We like to have a very close relationship with the marketplace. We like to be disciplined and grown by the marketplace. So we've held back over the years on heavy marketing until we've got the recipe right. And you don't get that right. You have a shot at it. You craft it up on a bit of paper to start with, but you definitely don't get it right. It's essentially Darwinistic evolution, if you believe in that. You have to keep amending and truncating, say, constantly evolving until you get it right. You use a drag car analogy. It's got to be lined perfectly down the track, otherwise you'll smash into the wall just as very quick. But you make sure you get that business model aligned perfectly down the track. You fuel it up, and that's marketing, and then you just press go. So we're actually currently rebranding, an official rebrand of Zimple Digital, and finally you will see some really solid marketing coming out into the local community.
Finally, can't wait.
Oh.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So that's the origin story and where you guys are now. What's next on the roadmap for you as a kind of business owner, but also part of the management and the director team of both of those businesses? What are you guys working on?
Yeah, SwimPro, it's really interesting. SwimPro is heavy product development. We develop all our own products, from cameras, hardware, to software, cloud, app, and so forth. There's a lot of different moving parts there, and one of my core goals over the years, and oh gosh, you got to be patient with this because you can't just get it straight away, is to have the product just work, just like Apple. I really like Android. I was an Android guy and a Windows guy or Microsoft guy at uni, but Apple just works, and you pay that little bit extra for Apple. So it allows you to, Apple gives, if you're a stage performer, Apple's the stage. The stage performer, if he walks on a stage and a board snaps and his leg goes through it, he's not going to perform and he's out for the season, right? For example, that's kind of like other pieces of software I've found. You spend time kind of getting it going in order to do what you do best. Whereas Apple, it doesn't. You open it, and good for them. You open your Apple laptop up and it just works, and you can work on top of that platform. I want to get SwimPro like that. It's not there yet, and I hate it. I can't stand it not being there yet. It's nearly there. It's very close, but I want that's 2019 onwards is going to be the Apple era of SwimPro. Fingers crossed. I think the team are aligned and the product's ready.
Getting it nice and robust.
Oh yeah.
Apple also has probably tens of thousands of software engineers to do that.
I'm completely aware of that. Although there is a too many chefs notion there, you can do it.
Yeah.
Like we can achieve it, and we're up to the 3rd primary revision now of our product. It is extremely robust. It is extremely reliable. I just want those little tiny things. I just want one button everything, and I want it to be able to turn on every time in any environment, in any setup. And it just work all the time. And look, it's 90% there, but it's not perfect. And so that's what the team are going to be focused on. And that's also interesting because you've got a team of innovators there who aren't really that interested in that lack of innovation. So that's been a challenge for SwimPro as well, is aligning the team and building the right team ready for such era. So that's essentially SwimPro for the next couple of years, yeah.
And we kind of touched on the rebrand that Zimple's going through and all the kind of challenges and a little bit about the roadmap there, but yeah, I guess the next question and the final question that I have for you, Ryan, is you're obviously quite a successful person, a local legend, some might say. What has been your personal secret to success?
Yeah, I mean it's quite stereotype, but having a good team around you. A good support team. So we actually do business with family and friends, which is a whole nother challenge. Business is hard enough, doing business with other people solely, but then doing it with family and friends, you've got to be considerate of so many other things. But the advantages of that is wow, what a support network. And wow, what fantastic backyard barbecue conversations on a Sunday afternoon. So I would say that. And secondly, as we discussed before, it's never giving up. And that, again, that is so cliche. It's never giving up. But I wasn't going to give up until I found it, the solution. So in saying that, you're going to make more mistakes than you're going to get right. Like 90% of the things that I did were mistakes, but I was so hungry for mistakes, so I wouldn't do them again to add that to my small pile of right, and that's the businesses. So I think those two are probably primaries.
Awesome, mate. And how can the people get in touch with you if they want to drop you a line?
Well, I'm not on Facebook. That's probably the third thing. Get off all social media. But, look, just contact one of the businesses and ask for myself. I'd be more than happy to sit down and chat with people.
Cool. Thanks, Roo.
Pleasure.
Cheers, mate.